and just throw it over to my boy FiremanPC with Section 8 Prejudice.
Thank you. This is Section 8 Prejudice, a sci-fi action game. And we will start once I press enter here. So 3, 2, 1, go.
With it.
So the story behind this game is that you are a captain of this army.
All right, man, listen up. You
Move
got
the mouse to aim, we can do that.
Alexander Cord on deck. So pay attention. Just may save your life. Captain, please step up to the range and take out
We
the
have
targets.
to take out some targets here. And then quickly press enter.
Now for distance targets, use your ocular zoom.
And now he tells us to use the zoom button, but we already knew that. And you have to wait until the targets become red before you can shoot them. And finally we have some futuristic shooting. We have a lock on, which we can use on any target really. Finally we have a pistol. For now we will get other weapons later, but for now we have a pistol as secondary weapon. And that's a lot like a one-hit kill type of pistol, so it's really good at the beginning. But later on we get much better weapons. And I don't like to aim, so I prefer using the assault rifle. Now we walk away from the commander. He will continue to talk to us, and he will tell us to get lost. But I'm not sure if you can hear the voices very well. Let's see here. We need to repair tool, and we need to edit our upgrades for speedrunning. We want this one increases your run speed and your sprint, and the other ones increase your damage. Now that person will tell us to sprint over here, but we're already here. But we still need to activate overdrive, which is the sprinting mechanic in this game.
Captain Cord, I'm taking these soldiers through the advances in our engineering gear. Use the supply depot to grab some frag grenades and a repair tool for your 2 equipment slots.
And now he tells us to go grab grenades and repair kit. We already have them. Now we wait for this turret to go enemy, to turn into an enemy. We throw 2 grenades. Will explode. Now we have to wait until the checkpoint is actually done. Then we can walk up here around the edge, start sprinting again, and then not fall down. Okay, that went bad. You were supposed to not fall down, of course, and then you can jump back into the area where you have to override the console, which we can now just run into. It's not that big of a deal, but it saves around half a second, and now we spend around 4 seconds walking back, so that's a bit slower. Now we have to repair this turret, and this is mainly intended to get you ready for multiplayer, because in multiplayer you also have to hack those control points, and you can build and buy turrets that fall out of the sky. And the multiplayer is unfortunately not very crowded, but it's a really fun game to play. Normally I would be ahead of that mech while crossing the roads here, but because I fell down it took some time. And here we learn how to drop in from the sky, which is how you would normally spawn in multiplayer. And you could drop in wherever you want on the map, except for where there are anti-air turrets, which other players can also build, so you can get some sort of tactical advantage. And we're going to break somewhere near the end and then move all the way to the left side to avoid a landing animation. I hope I get it. Nice. So normally you would land, it would create a crater and you would get a nice animation, and it would take like 1 second or 2 seconds, and now we skip that. The only time we're going to drop in there, to be honest, but so we're never going to use it again. But
you'll need to use your jetpack to complete this course. We've just activated yours, Captain. Show the men how it works. Nicely done, sir. This console starts the timer for the
Normally I would use the voice cues here to figure out where I need to jump, but I can't hear the voices that well right now. Probably should have set that audio higher. Now this is an obstacle course. You're supposed to run through it as fast as possible, which we didn't do already, but you have to shoot these guys, then move to the next area, shoot those 4, and then boost to the end. And here we can do our first long jump. So we just tap jetpack a lot, then land, and then we start sprinting again, because that saves a lot of time. Once you gain this overdrive and you jump, you still have the same speed as you would have when you are in overdrive. So we try to use that to our advantage. Now we have to wait till this door opens, but we can start generating overdrive because we have to wait for a few seconds here. And then hopefully by the time, that was good, by the time the door opens you're already in overdrive and can continue. These are some important prisoners. We don't care much about them, so we just run past them. And this is this is a supply stash we saw earlier as well. It regenerates your life, your grenades, your mortars, dead bags, whatever weapons you have on you. Now normally, let's see if I can get the sound of the voices to play. It's on 100%, but it seems really... It seems really low for some reason. We have to go this way. And this time we missed it. I wasn't sure how long it took for that door to open, but I should have gone straight into overdrive. Fun thing here, they expect you to stop on the elevator, but you can just keep walking and the cutscene will still play the same way.
General, we have a problem.
So then the evil people will come, some kind of mutant genetic freaks will come to rescue their leader. This is some kind of a prison facility. And the way you kill these guys is by running into them or by shooting them, depends on what you like most. I'm looking for one guy. Now the next one should spawn here. And the final guys will spawn in a row, so that's really useful. If you know where they spawn, you can just shoot them all in a row. And this guy here, you just throw a grenade at him and he's dead.
General Stone, relays are back online. Distress call.
Once again, we have to wait here for this, for the commander to tell us what to do, but we already know what to do, so we just have to wait and try to activate overdrive at the right time. I think I'm too early. Yes, too early. So they are trying to escape with the prisoner, and we're going to stop them, but that's their ship, so we can't get to him anymore. Got a nice back boost there. If they shoot missiles at you while you're running, you actually go faster. So that helps a very tiny bit. So he's trying to escape. We're going to grab our own ship and follow him. Because they've put a GPS tracker on him, which everybody does with prisoners here. Let's see if I can get this one correctly. No. Ah, this is okay. So that ship will blow up, but we won't see it because we will go directly to the next ship. I got a nice boost there from that guy. And this is something I've been trying to find a way to skip, but it always displays this cutscene as well. And I haven't found a way around it yet. But that ship gets shot. Oh no, it's going to kill me. Oh, it doesn't.
On your toes, Captain. Almost lost you there.
And that's one of our squad mates. I don't even really know their names that well, despite me having played this game quite a lot. And we won through this guy. And we hope to run through as many guys as possible, but I think they got them all. Next ones will spawn over here. Okay, they're all dead. Should have some landing around here. You can already see them on the minimap at the bottom left corner before they land, so that's useful as well, even if you don't know where they're going to land, or even if you don't know the game that well. And that's the end of the first chapter. Now we're going to follow the prisoner to some kind of snow fort, I think. There we go. We drop in here as well, but we can't break here, so we can't cancel the animation. So you get to see what we just skipped, which saves around one second or something, this animation. And now we can run. And he tells us how to use our knife, but we won't use it. You are supposed to stab this fella. Oh, okay. I was going to run through him, but I missed. But that works too. And then you can just run to here and it will trigger the next cutscene. So you don't even have to follow the road there. And now, as you can see, we've got a sniper rifle. So we can start sniping people, and that immediately leads to the first sniping level. Nice, I got them both. That's really good. Saves a lot of time. Now we have to shoot all of them. And this is where soft lock city starts, because each time you shoot someone, one of the enemies too fast, like right at the moment they spawn, the game has a chance to soft lock. That guy bugged out a bit. So these two, you will have to wait a while before you can shoot them, otherwise the game soft locks. If it hasn't already. No, that guy's moving. Right? Is he not moving? No, he's moving. Okay, that's good. If he stops moving, then it's a soft lock and we have to restart the checkpoint. But he did take very long, so I think he might have gotten stuck on something. Oh, that wasn't the smartest thing to do. I might have killed him too fast. We will see. The next one spawn on this side. Looks like we're safe for now. But every time something spawns and you kill it too fast, there's a chance at a soft lock. So let's hope it doesn't happen. And luckily you don't have to restart the game, you can just restart the last checkpoint.
Second jammer down. Last one looks pretty heavily guarded, Captain. Would you kindly clear me a path?
Okay, I got that one really quick, that's good. Next ones will come from there. But I won't shoot them until they're in the air here, just to be safe. And because shooting people out of the air is much cooler than reloading. Then shooting them when they're at the on the road. There we go. That's all of them. He will blow up the last generator, and we can continue. But they find out that this isn't just an outpost; it's an entire military base. As you can see on the bottom left corner, everything that's red is everything that has red stripes is unable to you're unable to go there. But if you time it correctly, you can start going there, and by the time the timer runs out, you can the area becomes accessible. So you can save some, like a few seconds there each time you do that. Since we picked up a new weapon, we also got a new setup, which means that our previous damage boost and run boost are disabled again, and you get the default layout. So we have to change that now, and while we do that, we also set up our second setup, which is just most damage, which we'll use for the end of the game. when we don't need to run that much anymore and do have to shoot a lot of people. So let's do that here. So instead of we only get 2 times the run buff and 4 times the shooting and damage buff. And we also need to go back here. Sniper rifle, missile launcher, that's fine. Some enemies will spawn there before the area becomes accessible. That guy always runs through here. Okay. Now we have to wait a while while
what are your orders?
he tells us where to go.
I need you to stay on Commander
And at
Thor.
a certain point,
Picking up an ammunition
we
convoy
can start
headed toward
running.
his position. Move in to intercept.
There we go. We should be
Roger
safe
that.
now.
Through these gates.
System
Probably could have
shutdown
gone a bit
imminent.
earlier. So this convoy is either really slow or they just came from another direction, I suppose.
Launcher, Captain. Fire in the hole.
Blow them up.
Convoy destroyed.
Try to blow up as many as possible before running again.
Convoy destroyed.
Because each time you have to build up the overdrive, of course. So
Targeting the bunkers. They're trying to
that was
catch
a
us in
good boost.
crossfire. Convoy destroyed.
Now we can sprint again. And we're going to skip this entire part by just running through it. A lot of speedrun in this game is just running through, get hit a lot of times, and make it to the next checkpoint as quick as possible while doing the objectives required. We're going to jump at the very last second. Jump over this fence. And this is a spot where you can die. I hope we won't, but because there's a turret here that will start shooting at you as soon as you turn around the corner, and it can kill you, but it looks like I'm safe. And I have to stop here with overdriving because there's a bridge around the corner that's blown up, and we just want to be able to jump over it, which we can now.
My pleasure. I'll talk you through sabotaging the shipyard. Head over there now.
See if I can get that guy. No. Would have been some extra points. So this is the speedrun of this game is just skip the entire first-person shooter part and just run really fast and try to optimize the boost meter you can see on the top right. It runs out eventually. Same goes for the jetpack. They're not infinite, so you have to make sure you have to manage that. Here we can go for a sniper rifle.
This place is essentially a carbon copy of
And this is another place to soft lock if you kill them too fast. I'm going to see if I can run through them and kill them like that.
Destroy the safety valves, then push all that fuel into the pipeline.
Nope. Did I have to get one? Is there one out here? Because that could be a problem.
Sounds like the only hard part will be getting inside the fuel stations.
We can use the lock on a bit here. Better switch weapons. I hate these. I hate it when they hide behind hide things.
You're very close, Captain.
So we have to hack these fuel depots. Apparently, there's a program that blows them up. I don't know why they installed that, but it just blows up these things. It just whips them out. I'm not sure if that's a safety precaution, but it doesn't look very safe. And then we flood all the fuel to the generator or whatever it is, and we blow that up. But we will need 2 fuel depots to get there, but for this one we don't have to kill anyone. So we just stand here, get shot at, and press the button as quickly as possible. I have to wait till it whips off the top of it again.
I've got blips all over my scans, Captain. They're waiting for us.
And I'm just spamming A while I get shot at, so as quick as possible here. There we go. Jump down. Sprint to the final objective where we plant C4 on the generator or whatever it is.
The fuel is flooding through every fleet ship in the entire shipyard.
This is going to be brilliant. All right.
And there we go. That's this mission done. And here we have to make some small jumps. If you make a small jump, you can still generate overdrive afterwards. If you use your jetpack while you jump, you can no longer generate the overdrive. So each time you see me do a small jump, I'm trying to build up my overdrive speed. This door will blow open, and they'll be like, "Hello, Captain." There he is. And we're just going to run through here as well. And we have to blow up an anti-AA launcher. Oh, nice! I made that. That's quite a difficult jump to do, because now we can just continue running and get straight to the AA nest, which is here. And now we need to not die. Okay, that works. Should be okay. And the next part we'll need our sniper rifle again. The objective of this next part is to kill all the enemy players, but not the turret. And there's also a turret there, so we just avoid killing that. We took a nice second off the timer there.
First recon, fan out.
And I just like running through that final guy, if I can. There we go. And now the next, the objective is reached, so we can continue. We have to drop in a bike here, which is another thing that you can do in multiplayer, is drop in vehicles. But it takes a while for it to arrive. So if we start a checkpoint here. I hope I didn't do it too early. No, okay. We already have the bike and we're already down here. So that saves us a few seconds as well.
We've taken heavy casualties. Those damn turrets are relentless. We have got to take them down.
Blow up these. Load that one. Now the next one will spawn here, there, and there. You can already see the markers, so that helps a bit. That one is gone. And the objective here is only the turrets, so we won't kill them, but we do have to wait here. Otherwise, the enemies won't spawn at this part, because they are supposed to retreat, and if you're too quick, they can't retreat. So we have to make sure that you wait there.
Captain, I see enemy infantry and supplies up ahead. Fuel depot, comm array.
We have a small part to go with this bike. That wasn't the smartest idea, but
Nothing fancy here, Captain. Just pour all your missiles into them. Enemy convoy destroyed.
and we have to blow up these. And if you blow up one of these, they will both blow up. So it's so you shouldn't try to damage both. You should just try to damage one. And of course, this is on easy, so we don't take much damage. I have tried this on normal, and it does work as well. But it's a bit more difficult. You have to avoid a bit more shots. Now they tell us to drop the bike and continue, but we've already dropped the bike.
We're already here. Forget the bike. Let's move.
There they are. And this is quite a rough part. You can get killed here quite easily by the sniper fire. And the objective is only to kill the commander, but you won't survive if you only kill him. And I might not be able to survive now either. Let's see. I hope so, but one more NPC here. Now we can start hammering the boss. And now we will escape into the tunnel, and we have to blow up this this bunker. Well, we did let him into that bunker because we couldn't do anything. So even if you kill him, like if his health is zero, we will still go into the tunnel. So you can't do that much damage, but it doesn't really help you. And now it's just an time to wait. So if there aren't any donations or messages, now is a good time.
Well, I mean, I don't have any donations for you, but I can tell you that we are currently raising money for the Dutch Cancer Society, a charity organization that strives for less cancer, more cure, and a better quality of life for those already battling the disease. 90% of all incoming donations will go directly towards the Dutch Cancer Society, so do be sure to get those in. And when you do donate, there's still two incentives that you can donate towards. The first one being for Rayman M, which is going to be closing off in about 4 hours, or about 4 hours from now. That'll be for the character that's going to be played, and then after that, for the closing run, the version of Yoshi's Stories being the Japanese or the US version. So yeah, keep do keep those donations coming, and we'll make sure to put them to good use.
Okay, thank you for that message. I'm still waiting for the bunker to blow up. I almost died here. That wasn't the idea. Luckily, there's a heal platform here, so it should be okay. Oh, that sniper is still shooting at me. That's why. Where is it landing? Okay. The only thing that's important to remember here is which console you've used and which one you haven't used, because you can't use the same console twice. So if you accidentally forget which one you used, then you might lose quite some time. Luckily, I remembered. I used the middle one so far. So that's the second orbital strike.
Shields down, General.
You can continue shooting these guys, but it doesn't really do anything. Oh, there is one fun little thing here that you can attempt. Once they start bombarding this place again, they expect there to be friendly players for them, so red players for us. And they blow them up, and then he says, I can't believe he took out his own guys, or something similar. And if you kill them, he doesn't say that, so that's quite a funny addition. This is the last one I need, I think. And I can't even remember what happened in this cutscene, but suddenly we're somewhere in the Arctic mining facility. And we have to run away from someone. I'm not sure why. I really can't remember what happened in that cutscene. Who's shooting me? Oh, that guy. It doesn't matter. So something happens. I'm not sure if you could read that. I wasn't quick enough to read it. But something happens and we end up at this mining facility. And we got a small platforming section here where we have to avoid mining beams. And they one-hit kill you. So I hope I can avoid them. That was just on time. I do have to get this one as well, otherwise I might be too late. Okay, that's good. It started just behind me. And most of them go from left to right, so you just try to figure out where they're going to be once you run past them. And you have to keep an eye on your sprint meter, because now you're in third person. But if sprint ends, you're suddenly in first person. And that makes it difficult to... Oh, that went well. That went very well. Now we have to wait a bit to regenerate our sprint. We won't pick up that data log because, well, we don't need it, so we went past all of these. I had a bit of a problem last time I tried to run past all of this. Now it went well. We have to kill at least one enemy here. Oh, I jumped a bit too far there. They blew up that helipad, so we have to fall back. And soon this area will become available, so I'm going to wait until he says coordinates, I think it was, and then I can start running.
I've got an engine fire and my VTOL controls are offline.
Restricted area entered.
There's a full-scale LZ 2 clicks west, swarming with hostiles, but it's the only option. Transmitting coordinates now.
I was a bit early, but I made it, so that's fine.
On me. We've got
if the countdown finishes, you're dead. You just die and you have to restart at last checkpoint.
Keep moving.
And it doesn't matter if you reach the next checkpoint or not, it will still put you back at the last checkpoint you were alive at. That jump is very difficult as well because it often finishes your overdrive, which we don't want.
General Stone, you copy this.
I saw the armor cam feed, Captain. We can figure it out later. I'm coordinating a singular
I should have saved some sprint here. He's about to say, well, the bridge is broken. You can't pass it, but we can just hit overdrive and go all the way over to the other side. And they clearly weren't expecting that, since they say you have to find another way around, but looks like you don't. And each little plate on the floor there can end your overdrive. So that it can get quite annoying to not be interrupted while you're trying to sprint. And EMP also drains everything from sprint to jetpack. And health as well.
Blackburn, we're here. Where the hell are you?
And here's another kind of hold your position section. So all we have to do is kill enemies until the next part starts. Well, you don't really have to kill them, it's just a timing thing. But you will die if you don't. So we will still kill them.
I've never seen the 8th in this deep before.
That guy blew himself up.
Let's make sure they get one. I'm reloading.
Nice no scope. Where did that guy go? Doesn't really matter. The only enemies you have to watch out for a little bit is the ones with a shotgun, because it does a lot of damage close range. This guy doesn't really matter, but we got Matthews. I'm not sure what the other guy's name is. I think it's Graves, but
Fire in the hole.
I'm not sure what he's doing. Yeah, the Graves is still over there. So. And it actually works out quite well, because enemies first go to him now instead of me. And usually they go straight for the player, and I can die and the NPCs can't.
Shit's getting deep here.
Roger that, Captain. Making my approach now.
You can do it now if you want to. You just have to run away now.
Okay, we just got a €10 donation from Pazzi saying, "Good luck with the runs. Thanks for reminding me how cool Section 8 is. I've never seen BSG before this weekend, but you all seem lovely and the event has been great fun." Well, thank you very much for your generous donation.
I'm glad somebody remembers Section 8. I also think it's a really fun game. The multiplayer should be more active, I think, but unfortunately it's not. It's just a really fun game to play on multiplayer as well. And I'm going to try to jump just in time here before I run out of boost, so I can end up right here. And that was some kind of slowdown there. So we have to plant some explosives on the AA battery, I think it is. And you can get hit here, but all you have to do is do a small jump and you won't take any damage. So that's quite funny. Actually, I'm not sure if you do take damage, if you don't. But I've always jumped there, so. And we planted here. We don't do anything with the enemies, of course, because they don't really matter. And once again, this gets blown up. And we have to hit this checkpoint, and that's the end of this mission. And this is an unskippable cutscene. One of the few. There are only a few that's unskippable. Fortunately, because the cutscenes and the dialogue are very cheesy. Here is one of the few skips. I'm going to try it twice, and if I don't get it, I will just listen here.
You wanted to see me, General.
Nope, that wasn't it. And you can run out of the, if you time it exactly right, you can run out of the room. I have to count a bit
Captain
here.
Cord, please report for debriefing.
You wanted to see
No,
me,
I
General.
didn't get it. But you can run out of the room and you still have to listen to everything he has to say, unfortunately. But you can run to the next part and just wait for the NPC to spawn. Right now we have to wait here, and I'm just going to let him tell you what this game is about.
Senate authorized a covert genetic experiment to create an enhanced alpha team that could thrive in environments where others could not. Codenamed the Spear. They were sent out to find any life forms that stood in the way of human colonization and wipe them out with extreme prejudice.
But Salvador, all of them, they barely look human.
The gene splicing was not perfect. Over time, they began to mutate, grow unstable, eventually turning against Earth and the Senate. So a USIF battalion was sent to destroy them. But it seems they failed. The Spear are coming back for blood. They won't stop until they've annihilated the entire USIF. Which is why I need you to re-establish communications with any surviving USIF as quickly as possible.
Yes, sir.
There we go. So until now you can talk to the NPC that spawned, and you can continue the game. So it saves around 4 seconds, not that much.
System shut down. Let's head up to the control center. The optimal coordinates are on top of the control center balcony.
And as you can see, we've got another weapon, a machine gun and a shotgun. And the machine gun isn't really good right now, but it will get better. And since we've got new weapons, we also got another layout again, so we have to switch back to the second one in this case. Because from here on out, we only have to kill people, pretty much. And we want to have the mortars, which look like this. So it's in the sort of area of attack. And we have to go over there and press the console there. I'm waiting for a certain cue so I can start running.
Entered. System shutdown imminent.
Good to see you, Captain Cord. If you're here to configure the transmission
There we go. We can skip this one. And now we have to once again hold our position from the enemies. They will come from the north. And I just try to hit every enemy once, so they can finish them off. But they don't always do that, as you can tell. And soon we will be able to call down some turrets, just like in how you would in multiplayer. And we can place them at like perfect positions to spawn kill all of them. So that's what I like to do, because it's just a bit faster than shooting everything yourself.
To purchase, select an open location with clearance to the sky. Then stay clear of the delivery
Okay, there we go.
location.
And the other one will be here. And that one is probably going to be blown up eventually, but hopefully it can get enough kills before that happens.
Deployable launched. Deployable
So a few enemies will spawn here and there, and they will all be shot by this turret, and then other enemies will spawn from behind eventually.
I need more ammo over here. Use the supply depot.
And as you can see, all the NPCs also have sort of classes, which is determined by their weapons. So that was a grenadier. He probably had grenades and mortars. And the turret is perfectly spawn killing everything. So that went really well. And this one will do a bit worse, because it will usually shoot at that building instead of at the enemy. And there we go, it's already down. That went down a bit too fast, that turret, but I blew it up myself, so I'm to blame. And these are a bit tougher than the previous enemies. And which also why I stopped rushing through them, because they don't die in a rush hit anymore. Okay. Once it says checkpoint reached, you can immediately start running to the next area here. We can still see it crashing. Well, he already said it crashed.
General, we've secured some Spear intelligence. Transmitting now for decryption.
Receiving. Cord, while they're decrypting the intel, we need to get the generator started. That big generator powers most of our planetary communications.
And we have to wait for some mechs to spawn here. Unfortunately, if you reach that checkpoint here, unlike with the bike, you just start your entire. You have to start over the entire since the last checkpoint, so you don't get them immediately. In fact, the checkpoint save here is when you get inside the suit, as you can see here. And now we can use these mechs, and because we still have the damage boost from our skill set, we can kill most things extremely quickly. You can zoom with this as well, but it's not really needed. And this Gatling gun works a bit like the jetpack. You will have to make sure it's balanced out, so you don't have to. You shouldn't use all your bullets at once. You should shoot in bursts. Like right now, it was almost empty, the bar, and then you have to wait, and you're not allowed to shoot for like 15 or 10 seconds, I think. A long time anyway, and you don't want that. So each time you hear the clunk, I let loose of the trigger, so it can recharge. and you can recharge a little bit each time you shoot it. So the dark yellow bar is what is recharged, and the bright yellow bar is what you have. So now I'm going to wait a bit, and it will recharge again. There is also a melee attack on these mechs, but it's quite useless, so I never use it. And if you use it on another vehicle, it displays a very long animation, which is something else we don't want. And this is another unskippable cutscene. Not sure why that one in particular is unskippable, but we have to go through here.
Go to the East Comms and assist the engineering team there. Captain, we're processing your intel. Something about a doomsday weapon being produced on New Madrid.
What kind of weapon? For what?
A doomsday weapon? For what? Who knows? He might just be a hobbyist that builds doomsday devices for no reason. The dialogue is really cheesy. I'm not sure if you're getting all of it, but it's really good. I really enjoy the dialogue in this game.
You just get these dishes working.
Enemies will spawn here. If you stand on the spot they spawn, they will die when they land. So I'm trying to stand where the turrets will spawn, because turrets take longer to kill than these guys. Oh, in fact, maybe that guy just landed on me and didn't die, so maybe it just counts for buildables, for turrets. Okay, that's good to hear. I turned down the sound effects a bit so you could hear it better. It's good. And that should be the end of this side, and then we have to move to the other side and kill again. And then we have to go south again and kill another few people, and then we're finally done with this defending. Oh, that was a bit. So these minigun turrets are okay. It's the missile turrets that you should be afraid of, and they shouldn't be allowed to attack the satellite. But sometimes the other NPC lets some of them through, so you do have to pay a little bit of attention.
We're halfway done with the north dish.
And I'm glad he isn't meleeing. Usually he really starts to melee a lot, which is something I don't want because it does a lot less damage and it takes a lot longer. So I'm trying to make sure that no enemies come near him. And eventually, once you've killed all the NPCs, only that person will continuously spawn, the Demolisher. I think that's it. So we finished early, like 10 seconds, but we still have to wait. So it doesn't really save any time, but now a turret will spawn here, I think, and I'm going to stand on the spawn spot. I will take damage from it. Let's see, that one will be a mech. Here we go. Just going to stand here and hope it explodes, like I just said it would. Yep, it exploded. Only this one did it, because I wasn't standing on that spot. So now they will drop down mechs as well. But they don't really stand a chance. Another turret. I have to be a bit careful because I'm a bit low on health. I'm just going to wait a while I recharge. That should be fine. It's timed anyway, so it doesn't really matter if I spend ages on this part or if I do it fast. But I like to do everything as fast as possible, so. There should be 2 more mechs coming there. Not sure if there'll be any more turrets, doesn't look like it. And those mechs are pretty weak, but they will be even weaker once we get an upgrade for our machine gun. And now I wasted a bit too much ammo. And that's the end of this level. And we're going to be picked up now and shipped to somewhere. I think it's called New Madrid, but I'm not sure. Oh, we're going back to Central Command first. So we will be going to New Madrid eventually, because that's where the super weapon is, the Doomsday weapon, which we don't know what for, but it's there, so we have to shut it down. But first we have to help out Central Command. Skip this. And we have to escort a tank here, I'm not sure why. And it always shoots at you, no matter. It doesn't matter if you're on his team, he still shoots at you. And we don't really have to defend it, we just have to make sure that all these enemies die quickly. And it shot at us again. Okay, there we go. And this is where we will finally have our final weapons. Once it says pulse cannon unlocks here, we can get our final weapons, which are a machine gun that shoots explosive rounds and a shotgun that shoots explosive rounds. So we want these crash rounds, shotgun, the wide mod, and that one it kills pretty much everyone. Especially the shotgun we will be using for all the bosses. Oops, I almost one-shot myself, and I did. I shouldn't have blown up those barrels. I'm not sure if this will set us back or forward. Slightly back, I think, yes. But it doesn't matter that much. I just shouldn't do it again. And as you can tell, the mech goes down even faster now. We got this machine gun, which is really weird. And our tank will spawn here, we will blow it up. And he will shoot at us, but we don't really care. There we go. There should be some enemies back there now. They can destroy the tank, but it doesn't really matter, so we'll just keep running. In fact, if it explodes, we're a bit quicker. And because we will spawn here with the tank behind us. But now it didn't die, so we're good as well. Unless it dies now, then we will be put back. That would be a bit annoying.
Graves, jam that signal.
I'm working on it, Captain.
And we're getting ambushed by 3 guys. It's not really dangerous considering how many we've killed so far, but.
Central defense just ahead.
And now we have to report to Central Defense and do another base defending type of deal.
He needs your assistance.
Good to see you, Captain.
We don't really need to talk to him, we're not interested. We just want to shoot some people.
Hostile spotted. Big wave incoming from the north.
Damn it. Captain, we could use your help to fortify this position.
And these will all come from the same direction, so it's not really hard.
Something sure pissed them off.
And there's some conspiracy theories being talked about.
It's usually one of those.
It's like they just try to make it as cheesy as possible, which is great. And this is one of those games where they will actually say the title of the game in the game. So look forward to that.
Another wave incoming.
Won't be near the will be near the end, but Oh, nice. I didn't know Max, if they get destroyed, would blow up the other enemies. Looks like they do.
On my way.
I think it's this way. Okay, I got the. I usually get lost a bit here, so I'm glad I didn't this time. But I did hit the wall there, and that's what I talked about earlier. That if you even hit the slightest obstacle, you will be forced out of overdrive, and that's really slow. And we have to grab our repair tool here. We're going to grab it instead of the grenades. If I can get that done. There we go. And I've been thinking about, there is also a talent which allows you to repair quicker. And I thought about using that here and to see if you could go any quicker. But I think you just have to waste too much time setting up another layout for your talents. I hope I make it. Okay. I wasn't sure about the countdown here.
Before the spear overruns central command.
We just have to repair these 2 turrets and then we can continue. And this is unfortunately an objective, so we can't skip it. Did I get it? Okay. I didn't hear repairs complete at first, so I wasn't sure if it was complete. So if there are any more messages or donations, now would be a good time, because all I have to do is one for now.
Well, there are a few things that I quickly want to mention. If you enjoy these kind of events, but you're slightly too far away for to come over for just a weekend, then I highly recommend checking out BSG Annual, running from the 19th through 25th of August. There will be a week full of the BSG experience. Submissions for it are still open. They will be for just a few more days, so if you do want to submit for it, you'll have to be fast. But that's definitely great fun. Also, since we're slowly but steadily starting to close in on this month's closing in on the ends of this month's BSG, we're still a little bit away, but we are starting to get a little bit closer. If you do want to, join us for a future event, with those few hours left, we have already opened up both the submissions and the ticket sales for BSG 23. Happening on the 25th and 26th and 27th of May, right here in Alphen. So yeah, be sure to get your submissions in for that, and hopefully we can actually see you right here next month.
Okay, thank you for that message. Here we have to wait a while before this path opens up. And we will, just like the previous console where they said they won't give up without a fight, usually they do, and as long as you use the console, they will give up without a fight. And that will happen again at the next console.
Graves, keep the generator secure. I'm moving out.
Old Graves is your man, Captain.
Don't I know it?
And here you will get stopped pretty much every step. You will drop out overdrive, so it's quite annoying. And I have to not die here, and I did. I was trying to save my my jetpack to jump back up, but I failed that. I have to do this part again, I think. Where am I? Okay, I'm all the way back here.
All clear, Captain. Gord, second recon is in.
So let's try that again. And I'm going to try to keep overdrive all through the
Permission granted, Graves.
all through this part, of course. But
Generator 3 is going to be tricky. The road up ahead is a death trap. Vehicles everywhere. But there's a maintenance shortcut that will take you straight to the generator.
no. Oh, that was close. Was a bit too close to the edge there.
Old Graves is your man, Captain.
And now we can sprint again.
Stairs go straight to the generator, Captain. Be ready. Odds are it's a trap.
It's a trap. But we don't care, so we just use this and the enemies disappear. And we're safe.
Airstrike inbound to clear the main road. Overdrive.
And now we don't have to run back to the same path, but we can just go through here. I hope they don't kill me. No, they don't. And this is where the one killer happens, because the next boss, even on easy, practically always leads to a death. So I'm going to try not to die, of course. That's always the idea, but it's a really difficult boss fight. The first few artillery barrages he fires are really easy to avoid. I probably should have reloaded before I got here, but and his minigun can't hit us like this, so we just stand slightly closer to the box and shoot at him. Now we will start shooting this platform. I jump up here. This will fall down. And now we will. Now we're safe. But the next time he does a barrage, it will be tricky to avoid it. So I'm going to try to avoid having him do one, but I think he already has. As you can see, there are red markers everywhere. I'm going to see if I can stay down here and shoot him from here, but okay, this works. So he's kind of stuck now. I think I can get him before he gets me. There we go. So that went quite well, not as perfect as I wanted it, but because I want to already be here so I can click the console right away. And now we have to steal some intelligence from the spare. I'm still not sure why we're doing all of this, but I'm sure there's a story mode in there somewhere. And from here on out, as I said before, we will just be using the complete overpowered damage setup. So we will want to kill most enemies with the shotgun.
Northern positions are under siege.
And even this mech, I don't think it's one hit kill, but 2 hit killed. Now it tells us to oh, wait, I got stuck. Now it tells us to go shoot these AA turrets, but we can already shoot them before the objective is activated. I should run back into bounds here.
We need to capture that laboratory, but there's too much AA fire for a direct assault. Cord, take a few men south and destroy those AA nests on your way.
And I forgot to equip grenades, so I will have to do that. Because they will kind of group up here.
General, engineers are reporting massive toxicity in the water supply. They can have high levels of a niacin derivative.
I have to not... I think I got the checkpoint, so it should actually put me forward a bit, but let's see if that's true. Yes, it did put me... I was there and now I'm here, so that's forward. And I have to wait here for a while until that supply drop. And pick up some grenades. Because the next few enemies will all spawn at the exact same location. So we will, I will try to throw a grenade there and a mortar and hope to one-hit kill everything there. Oh wait, I actually, oops. I blew myself up. I actually have to touch the console first, I forgot that. There we go.
I'm connected. Spear servers are online.
We're decrypting the information, but this is going to take some time. Well, we must have done something right. We have hot and heavy incoming, and fast. Hold the lab cord. Do not let them destroy the database.
And that was good. I got them all before they even got attacked by the other NPCs. That's what I tried to do 3 times, and then the 4th time a sort of boss will spawn, but he will die pretty much instantly. Nice, I got him. I have to pick up some more grenades. So I'm not really sure if there's a time interval between these waves, or if it's just a complete time schedule, like they will drop even if you haven't killed the other ones yet. I think that's the case. So you don't really speed up anything by killing them quickly. And now the boss will spawn here with 2 of his infantry people, but they will all be dead before you can... Well, not before you can see them.
Shields offline.
There we go. Almost blew myself up as well. Oh, there's an enemy still. Why not anymore?
Data transmit.
If I remember correctly, I have to go this way. And here you don't have to kill anyone, so we won't. All we have to do is press that button here.
That should do it.
And then get into the mech.
The authority invested in me. These mechs are now USIF property.
And then we have to walk
There's an
that way.
convoy being loaded at the west base. It's almost certain.
Unfortunately, the other NPC got in the way a bit.
Get in there and destroy those toxins.
Jumping is a bit faster with the mech, but you can't shoot while you jump, so that you just have to shoot most of the time. And here, the only thing you really have to do is make sure the barrels explode.
Stone, convoy is down, but there's no way this is the entire shipment. Fleet has spotted a spear drop.
Okay, that's yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. That has never happened before. Okay, so we still have to go. I thought the cutscene would play automatically, but I suppose you have to be in a certain range. And it will play now, probably. Yes. That's another boss. He doesn't really do much except hide a lot, which is really annoying. I want him to jump down so we can pummel him, but usually he stays up there, which is quite annoying. And he will get healed by his lackeys, so we have to try to avoid that as well. There's one of his lackeys now. And I really need him to get out of cover. But at least he's not getting healed yet, so we can just... Now he is. Okay, I shouldn't have said that. What is he doing? Stop hiding.
Need support on my...
There we go. We don't really have to kill anything else, and now they will... And I got stuck here. Okay, that's...
No celebrations yet.
That's pretty good. I'm glad the level was finished, because I can't move anymore.
Terraforming tower. Transports are headed your way, Captain. We'll brief you en route.
I'm cheering. And this is the final level, and it's called Prejudice. And they won't just show it in text, they will also say Prejudice later on. So you get a double whammy. And I'm trying to shoot the generators from here. Just one more hit should do it. Then we reach the checkpoint we start the checkpoint and we're ahead of a couple of miles, so that helps a lot. We keep trying to avoid killing enemies here. Otherwise, like we have a tank here, but if you destroy it, another tank will spawn later on, and that will block your path. And we don't want to get blocked. Of course, we also don't want to die here, but usually you're pretty safe. And I've tried to restart the checkpoints to walk forward a bit, pretty much over the entire game, but that was one of the only parts where it helped. That and the summoning of the bike, or the drop-in of the bike. There we go.
Encampments have been disabled.
Might as well destroy that one. And I used to just run into this door to get through it faster, but it seems it can crush you when it opens, so I stopped doing that. So I wait a small while. And something happens here that is scripted, is that you get hit by an EMP bullet, which drains your jetpack and your boost. But I'm going to try to avoid it by staying close to that. I think I avoided it. No, I didn't. There we go. I still got hit by it. All I need to do is get the turrets down and then one. And hope I don't die. Okay, I reached the checkpoint. It doesn't really matter now if I die or not. Here some boulders will fall into these guys, but we're too fast, so we won't see it. But they do die. I usually don't go through this path, but it doesn't look like it's slower. There's another turret here that will most likely kill me. It doesn't really matter as long as I've reached the checkpoint. I didn't even die. That's even better.
8th Armor, move in. Clear the area of any hostiles.
We're just going to stand where the enemies will land. And then try to hit them. And this is where one of the more tougher boss fights happens. And the problem is I don't have enough grenades left. But I can do this. And hopefully I can get one of them down before he does anything. Please die. Okay, that's one down. The other one might kill me here, I'm not sure. Something's going to land there. Oh, he's being really nice today. He's just standing still waiting for us to kill him. Usually they jump up, summon healing supply stations. Or summon other engineers, they can do that as well, which can heal them. That was a very close one with only 2 seconds left. And as you can see, some of the enemies hadn't even spawned yet. So that was pretty useful. But we got EMP'd again, so we can't jump over this fence. We have to go around. Luckily you can go around here without dying. Probably an oversight, but it helps. Now for this objective you don't really have to kill any of the more advanced guards, because this is the final facility. Oh, that was a bad one. But you do have to kill all of these turrets. And this supply turrets, supply depots automatically heal turrets. And now we just have to wait till someone opens this door. He doesn't always come here, but the door automatically opens anyway. If you do kill all the enemies, he will walk here and pretend to press buttons, but he doesn't really do that. I think he will. Oh, he does actually do anything. He cuts it open. I'm not sure if that's how electricity works, but we shall see. This is the final battle. Once the final boss dies, that's the end of the game, and that's time. So I'm going to have to turn on 3 consoles here, then the boss will appear. He will start laughing at you and everything, and we will end up defeating him, hopefully. I'm going to try to get him stuck in one of these rooms, because he spawns in front of one of these rooms, so I'm trying to push him back, and that prevents him from doing most of the things he usually does.
It's time you were purged, Captain Cord. These colonies were paid for.
So at each time you damage him, nice, he went back in there. Ah, that was a bad reload. Okay, that didn't go according to plan. I should have reloaded before I went into the fight. And I died again. I'm not sure what's going on here. Shouldn't be just the... Normally you hit him... You hit him 3 times with the shotgun, and he will bend over. And you can whip out one of these tanks, which I will do now. And I reload before I do that, so I can shoot him before he pushes me back. Because he will push me back now, and I've already shot him again. And then we just run into him again. Shoot him. We still have 2 bullets left, so we don't really have to reload here. Can reload now. And optimally, you don't have him do anything. I'm going to reload once more. And the next one will be the final power chord if I don't fall out of bounds here. What was that? He regenerated his ammo. Armor. Sorry, not ammo. And he's deadened. Now, and this is time. And we get to watch the ending scene, which is really cheesy, just like the rest of the game. Well, the fight scene is okay, but the part that comes after that is just as good as the rest of the game in terms of dialogue and writing.
Built on the murder of millions.
Killing millions more isn't the answer.
And of course, we're just in time, like at the final second we press the button. And he has to die for it. Well, it just took like 15 seconds not to press the button. And now we get a final speech from our commander. Our commander, the guy that had that other 10-minute speech while we were stuck in a room. And he will have another nice speech now. And he will finally say the title of the game. Well, the second part of the title of the game. Which is what we've been waiting for, of course.
Mission completed, General. All Spear forces neutralized.
Congratulations, Captain. Your efforts today saved millions of lives. Gentlemen, the fight here is over, but our work is never done.
In war, prejudice takes many forms. Though the Spear have been charged with paving the way for mankind's salvation, they were ultimately destroyed by betrayal, corruption, and hatred. But make no mistake, the 8th Armored's mission is never over and stands ready to protect humanity, no matter the cost, no matter the prejudice.
There we go. That's the end of the game. So I hope you enjoyed. And I don't know what's up next, but you should definitely watch it. So that was it.
Well, I can help you on that one, because next up we actually have a race for Super Pitfall, and